this guy's terrific, right?
Yes, he's actually very professional.
Okay, so you have no problems with him as an examiner, or the test,
No, sir.
it all went professional and
Yeah, he was
everything, so
very sharp.
good, bad, or indifferent, you have no issues
Not at all.
with it whatsoever. Gil, when it comes to polygraph exams, you're also a countermeasures expert. Explain what countermeasures are.
Countermeasures are behaviors that you can do during specific questions on the exam to enhance physiology on those areas and appear as a truthful individual. That's why we have activity sensors on the floor for your feet, activity sensors on the chair for core movements, and the rubber tubes that go over your chest and your stomach do record upper body movements, upper body activities. So if you were to try to manipulate any of those, we actually have the sensors that tell us this data is true, this data is not true.
Did that play into the test yesterday?
Yes, it did.
But ultimately, with your expertise and the screening devices, were you able to get a clean test?
I did.
Okay. Well, let's look at the results. Question number one, have you knowingly misused your given funeral escort rights to appear as someone empowered by law enforcement? And your answer was?
No.
2, have you falsely presented yourself to a citizen as someone empowered by law enforcement? And your answer was?
No.
3, during the course of your duties, have you knowingly used authority exclusively given to law enforcement officers? And your answer was?
No.
No. So you answered no to all 3 questions.
Yes, sir.
And what was the result?
It is my opinion that Mr. Dewitte was being deceptive to the target questions.
Okay, and what numerically, what would he have to have scored to have come out deceptive?
This methodology calls for a -3 or less in order to be in the deceptive range. Mr. Dewitte scored at a -37.
So this was not a close call.
This was not a close call.
At no time was I lying. I know that I was very nervous. I know that this is my life that we're fighting for, but I can't answer that. I know I wasn't lying. I'm not being deceptive. I understand what he's saying about the way I was, my posture and the way I was reacting is what the deception is from, but I'm not being deceptive.
Well, you asked for the test.
Yeah.
And I brought you the best.
Yes.
And you agreed that he's the best.
Very good.
I think you expected to have a different result on the polygraph.
Yes, sir.
I don't think you're seeing this situation clearly. I don't think you have real insight into this situation and circumstance. And I think you're putting yourself in a difficult situation by the way you're presenting yourself, by the relationship that you have that's adversarial with law enforcement. And I think it's been going on for a long, long time because I think you've got a chip on your shoulder. Right this very minute, if you could see yourself through my eyes,
Sure.
you would feel a whole lot better about yourself.
I appreciate that.
And you've got to make the decision at some point that you're okay. I hate to see you blow your life up, blow your business up, blow your family livelihood up, because you're playing into this not being enough. You know, you are enough. I mean, you got a beautiful family. But you've got to stop trying to justify and rationalize and explain away these things and own them, fix them, and move on.
Yes, sir.
And I'm willing to get you help to do that with, if you're willing to take the help and do it. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.